You can see that orange-red glow has dissipated quite a bit. You can hear it's a nice sharp sound on the steel table. So I'll get my second gather and then I'll start to apply colors. I'll just get many gathers. So I'm just going to shape it a little bit here at the edge. And then I'll start to roll it in some powdered white glass. And I'll reheat it, and then I'll get some chunks of green. This is just ground up white glass. Of a very specific kind. I can't just use any old glass. And I'm going to melt it in. It doesn't take these fine particles very long to melt in. You see when I come out, it's shiny already. Get another application of white. I'll melt that in. And then I'll get some chunks of green. Now the colors look very different when they're really hot. So this green will look green when I first put it on, and then it'll look really dark. But it will return to that green at room temperature, which won't be for a while. Alright, so there's a layer of green. Once I melt it in, it won't look very green anymore. A little bit more. So this is a dark red that I'm going to add onto here from another pipe. I'm going to gather a little bit of clear glass on another pipe, and then I'll roll in this red. And I'll sort of dab it all over this green and white. This red looks very transparent.
When do you put this into color?
So it won't really look red until the very end of the piece. So I want to smooth the surface off. Holding it up so it'll fall back on the pipe.
Oh, what's he got? What's he got?
It is going.
That's all the red I'm going to use. I'm going to get it really hot and shape it a little bit into a cone shape so it doesn't all come off the pipe at once. I'm going to apply it to the piece. So hot glass sticks to hot glass. Just going to dab it all over this.
So honey.
That's the trail of red. Now I'm going to melt this in completely so it's flush with the surface. I don't want to leave any texture on the surface. If I left any texture, it would tend to trap air bubbles where they were a little dense. I'm going to melt it until it's completely smooth.
Oh, that's so cool.
Tell me when you're done. What he's doing?
Kind of warm in here.
Kind of. What? You want to sit? Okay, hold on.
I'm going to block and smooth. That bubble has probably collapsed a little bit, so I'm going to inflate it a little bit. Got some air trapped, and I'm just watching for it to expand. This is a pad of wet newspaper. I'm just shaking it.
Woohoo. Sam.
Now I'm going to let it cool just like I did after the first gather. And this is what it looks like at this stage. You can't see much of the color. The trail is very transparent. It turns to a dark, deep red. Really deep in there. Hot stuff. I'm let this cool a little bit. I'll get one more gather. So up to this point, I've been dealing with the decoration of the piece. From this point on, I'll be dealing more with the shape, the form that I'm making. My big block ready. Let me get my final gather. That's all the glass I'll need. The core is much cooler than the fresh gather. So I'm sort of shaping and cooling the shell while the core is taking on some of the heat from the fresh gather. Well, it's not that heavy, but I can't lift it directly. So I'm dealing with about a 4-to-1 mechanical disadvantage. So that's probably about 2 pounds of glass. It's not a lot. But it feels like
It was one about our institute people,
shaping it,
culinary down in St.
temperature to equalize throughout the
Louis.
piece. I'm going to give it a thorough reheat so that I can start to blow the pipe and inflate it. So just like drawing on a balloon and inflating it, all the little dots and features you see now are going to expand. So the core is pretty warm now. I can tell by how this is moving. See if I stop turning it. It moves quite a bit. Just going to shape it a little bit, cool the shell, and then I'll start to inflate it. So as I mentioned earlier, the opening of the base is attached to the blowpipes. So I have to start establishing a groove with this tool called jacks. So I'll get it really hot, and I'll put a jack line in here. And that's where the opening of the base will be. That's where I'll break it off the blowpipe
Get up.
and finish it on the blowpipe, a solid pipe.
Now I'm getting hot.
Sorry.
Oh, that's alright. It's cool. Devon.
So they use an air hose and cool that spot. And locally,